So with his latest arc of Windbreaker now over, and especially with episode 10, it is without a doubt confirmed that Choji is what Sakura would have became if left unchecked, and probably joined any other group other than Bofurin. Because the idea of thinking, in order to have power, you be stronger than everyone and you reach the top, you crush those below you. He walked into that school thinking he was just going to punch his way to the top, and every step of the way, he's been dealt with people who are far too nice. They don't feel like they're a gang, they don't feel like they're a group of delinquents. And we see what happens when that type of mentality is given unlimited access. Insert Choji, who I personally believe I think Sakura would turn out better, but only slightly, because I'm fully convinced Choji is bipolar. 100%, but that's a topic I've already beaten to death. The thing is imagining Sakura in any of other groups. It's possible. Maybe he never would have been strong enough to actually get to the top, and it would have been a completely different issue. But had he succeeded at getting to the top via force, insert Choji, that is who he would have become in a similar way. And there's a reason why those types of characters don't have happiness, because ruling with that iron fist and thinking you constantly need that challenge and that thrill, and then you have other characters who are like, I just want to protect those and look after those that need me. That rather than it being what I want, it's about what the group collectively wants. There's a reason why it frustrates Sakura so much, because his entire identity is having a crisis about what it means to even exist. But deep down, most people just want to be accepted and fit in. And while people in the early stages of Windbreaker wrote off Sakura as, oh, he blushes too much, he's too embarrassed, this, that, and the third, I saw people claim he was surface level. There was a lot he went through at face value with what they explain, and to see how he's opening up. We still have 3 episodes left of this core of Windbreaker, and I don't know where they're taking it, but what we've seen now over 10 episodes is more than enough to call this show a certified banger. Of course, I have full live reactions to all these Windbreaker episodes over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and good thought to this latest episode or any of these episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. So, how do you resolve the beatdown that we had? Dinner party. At the end of the day, I think most of us should be able to accept that this is silly. That at the end of the day, the craziest shit and the amount of hell they put you through, we just have a freaking dinner party. But you know what? There's something about how this author writes it where it almost wears some of the absurdity on its sleeve like a badge of honor, and you just kind of have to respect it. I still firmly believe Choji needs therapy and probably some medication. Like, you can't just beat someone up and say all's well that ends well. Like, that is insane what he put people through. And I think collectively that group probably needs therapy. However, I do appreciate the scene with Togame, and it's so simple, but when you consider the fact that there's been this great regret from his point of view, that the day that he took up skinning the jackets off of their people for him so he wouldn't have to do it, he wishes he would have punched him in the face. That anything would have been better than that, and maybe we could have snapped him out of it. So while our group leaves, we give him a steamed bun of some sort, right? Some food. He's struggling to open it during this conversation. Terrible day for rain, right? It's a very good scene in general. And he takes it from him, opens it, and rips it in half to give him one half. It's such a powerful scene because the entire reason that he has so much guilt is if I would have just hit him, slugged him, beat some sense into this kid early, none of this would have happened, which is probably true. And the fact that rather than giving him the whole thing back, he took half for himself, it's more than just, oh, I'm hungry, I want half of it too. It's symbolic that they're in it together, that as painful as it is going to be to try to ask for forgiveness, to make amends, they're going to do it together. So most likely, Choji will never have another psychotic spiral. Realistically, he probably would. There's video games in this world. Pick up skateboarding. There's so many things that he could have done in life other than beat the living shit out of people for fun in a psychotic way. But all's well that ends well, I suppose. Still a great scene, it's just, I cannot take Choji seriously. Loved him. Probably my favorite part of this entire show, for being honest, but he's a psychopath. Now, the stuff with the cafe was interesting because Prior to all this kind of happening, in terms of the big old gang war, our boy was told about, like, communicating via fists. And it's a very funny scene. It's kind of back and forth, little heated, but the idea that, you know, it makes sense. Everything he says makes sense, because especially when it came to Sakura's fight, there was so much said without actually saying words. We understood there was these breakthroughs on both of their side, and they came out liking the other. There's a reason why Togame pulled his punch. And there's a reason why Sakura wanted to beat the living shit out of Choji, because through their fists, they were able to come out respecting each other. And I think it was such an interesting scene, and in a lot of ways, you would almost feel like this would be a good spot to stop the season, right? So I'm interested to see, because we have 3 episodes left to go. Are they going to start a new arc? Is it going to be anything crazy? Because while I know that these fights are just going to be the starting point, and the manga will probably make crazier and crazier as it goes on, and hopefully the anime and the seasons can do the same, this was a very good arc, and I doubt they can surpass it anytime soon, but I'm welcome to be proven wrong. But this was a good capstone episode, a good epilogue for what we dealt with, and I honestly think some good revelations for everything, all things considered. I am so excited to see where the cast is going to continue to go. We know there's going to be some hot tempers. I mean, look at our boy at the end. He picked up a damn chair ready to beat heads in. I feel for this woman and the mom role she's forced to be with these delinquents, but god damn it, they keep the town safe, so she has to put up with it. But like, I feel for her. She needs a vacation. She needs a singular week of not having to deal with Bofurin nonsense. Or maybe just the advancements of their leader. But it will be interesting, because at the end of the day, I totally expect that Choji and the group are gonna seem like kids to some of the craziness we will experience over the future. I'm waiting for a gang to just roll up with goddamn guns, man, because they're just that much psychos. Maybe it won't get that crazy, but at the end of the day, Choji's probably gonna look sane for a lot of characters we'll end up having to be against over time. But maybe not, who knows, maybe it'll all be similar situations to this. I doubt it, but you get my point. This was just the starting point, I'm sure, but what a hell of a starting point, to say the least. Thoughts down below yourself. What did you think of the epilogue? And, you know, as the arc comes to a close, what was your personal favorite fight out of this arc? Let me know. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we have The Myth, Armino, Kev, Rusty Warhorse, Joanne, and Devil May Carter. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.